Hello everyone, and welcome to Saunders Farm. If you know my haunt vlogs, you'll know that this place has been on my radar for some time. It's probably the furthest from my home as far as a local haunt is concerned, as it's just outside of Ottawa, but it is notorious for its hayride and the haunts themselves, and it's mid-August. It's not even mid-August, and here we are doing a haunt to get the haunt season started early. Unfortunately, no filming allowed inside the houses, which is understandable, but we are allowed to give you a full idea of what the atmosphere here at Saunders Farm is all about. So I'm going to give you a pretty comprehensive tour as much as I can before the sun goes down. Maybe we'll do a haunt once or twice. The lines are not actually long, as they said at the front gate, so we'll try to give you the full experience. Lots of light available right now, and yeah, we'll get some scares in as well. This is a pretty extensive offering in the summertime. As you can see, there's everything from a zip line, numerous playhouses, there's labyrinths made out of hedges, there's a big bounce, there's multiple locations where you can sample cider from what it looks like, and of course there are 3 haunts for this event. I don't believe this is the full complement of what they offer in the haunt season, but it's a nice appetizer before it gets started. This is quite atmospheric for a year-round setup. These are old farmhouses that have been converted, this one into a restaurant. You can hear the music coming from outside. Our first haunt is the Barn of Terror. Maybe you do this one first because the entrance is right over there. Some people come in and I like to be on my own. We're gonna let them pass and then we'll go through the haunt. I contradict again. A bunch of people actually went over to that haunt as soon as I went over, so we're gonna actually go to a different haunt, get a cider. That is what this place is about after all. There is a large playground, really well done, well fitted out. In fact, this is an impressive design. I'm sure it was house built. Very unique. The mazes, Pavilion, Witch Mountain. I think we'll go to Witch Mountain because it seems to be against the grain of where everybody's going. Like I said, we like to experience these things as pure as we can, but we're going to continue going down this prepared path. See where it takes us. And we have another section open up over here. This is a beautiful farm. As opposed to most farms that have haunt events that seem more temporary with how they're set up. I do hear a chainsaw inside Shambles, so it looks like we found our first haunt. I don't want to tease anymore, so we're gonna do this one, and I will see you on the flip side, as they used to say, of Shambles.
Free bacon in there.
Managed to survive the first haunt. It was actually really good, a little bit of everything. This place definitely reminds me of Fear Farm from home. You had a school bus. You had this very unique setup where you're dealing with a pig farmer, a classic trope from horror. And yeah, it was just basically kind of like one of those slaughterhouse types of vibes where unfortunately human victims have succumbed to the program of butchering in this establishment. Fairly good, but I think I should do it at night because with the daylight it's not as effective as it would be at night. I also really enjoyed the design of that particular maze. It was very meandering. There was a bridge that crossed you over one section and you crossed underneath it, so very creative use of cross points, so that way you meet certain actors again long after you've seen them at the beginning of the maze. So yeah, it was really, really well done. In fact, I kind of wish I had done it at night first because it's definitely a spoiler doing it during the day because you kind of can see what's going on. But that being said, the sight lines, as I mentioned briefly, there's one portion where you come into a valley just on the other side of this area here that I'm at, and you see the school bus and sort of like this butcher shop trailer setup that they got going on. And of course, once you get in there, the chainsaws get fired up. So very creative. That particular section reminded me a lot of Tully's Shocktoberfest and that crazy chainsaw maze that they have there. Sort of like a mini version of that. Everybody's in pig face. It's a universal theme, but very creative nonetheless. We'll wander through the woods here to another location. We found Witch Mountain. I'm pretty sure this is a four-season attraction. It certainly looks so. It's not a haunt. It's merely a gazebo on a hill. And from what it sounds like, there's a slide up there. So there's a slide here, and we made it all the way up, so why wouldn't we go down it? It is also right next to the zip line, as I think I captured someone going down it. I think it's an additional charge, I'm not entirely sure. But why wouldn't we be taking this? Success. Definitely a charge for the zip line, so we will be avoiding that. But as you can see, we have a crazy spiral maze. Not so sure you would really call it a maze, because I'm pretty sure it's one way. But yeah, we just did an incredible zip line in Niagara Falls, a vlog that hasn't even been posted as of yet. So we're gonna give a pass on that. But at the same time, below the spiral maze, you'll see the mile maze, which is, if the exposure will do it any justice, massive. It's huge. So one thing to consider though is that these mazes, unfortunately because of the time of year and the crazy thunderstorms from yesterday, as you'll notice with all the water and the trails, some of them are a little soggy. So that means I probably will give the mile maze a pass. But stay tuned, we'll see. All right, well this one looks completely enclosed, so it'll probably be a little bit more to, you know, my scare level, I'll say. Although what is my scare level now? I don't even know. I can't even count how many haunts I've done now, so here we go. The second of 3 haunts. She's running away, so maybe it's a good sign. Just finished Circus, right behind me. Actually, I caught up to the group ahead of me because in that first room, there's like an introduction where there's a clown that kind of drops from the ceiling to set the tone for everything. A lot of cool rooms. I definitely wish I'd done it at night because one of the best rooms was a cage, sort of like a caged clown thing where you go through a maze. There's a lot of mazes in this particular maze, but they're not really mazes. They're like optional directions that you can go in various rooms. There's a trauma tunnel. There's a very impressive, massive animatronic in the middle of this particular maze as well. And also just some very creative ideas, very colorful. There was one room with strobes going on and colored like pool sponges dangling from the ceiling, which was really hard to navigate going through. There was, of course, a black hole effect too. It pretty much had every trope that you would imagine a circus-themed haunt would have, or a circus-themed scare maze slash haunted house. So high marks for that one. It was definitely good. I definitely wish I'd done it at night though. I have a feeling, because of the effectiveness of this particular event, that with smoke and night effects, it's definitely going to be one of the best that you can come to. I'm not getting that experience this time, which is fine. I feel very strongly that I might come back later in the season, close to the scare season, to get the full effect of this event. That being said, it's nice to get a little precursor in and also enjoy it while we can. All right, we got one maze left to do, just on the other side. You know what it is because we were already there only a couple minutes ago, and we'll wrap up the mazes from there and then give you a little bit more of a tour of what the rest of this is all about. Okay, I may regret this decision. Oh yeah, but we're going in the mile maze, the biggest one. Or at least we're gonna try. It doesn't look so bad once you get in there. But how? How do you get in there? I'm a boy from the country. Grab onto a branch, swing around. Grab onto a trunk, swing around. There you go. Whew. Okay, well, we're in now, so I guess there's no turning back. And this is a for real maze, so okay. There is a tower in the center that we're trying to get the vantage point from that side. A little shortcut maybe, yeah. Ooh, problems. Dilemmas. This is more than just a maze, it's an obstacle course. Our destination is right over there. Ooh, I just got stabbed in the back with a tree branch. Use at your own risk, people. Another wet end, if you will. Now these are like shortcuts, but this is not where we want to go. Ooh, and there are people ziplining above us. Destination Tower. Okay, I cheated. Well, they wouldn't have those areas open if you weren't supposed to use them. That's what I presume. Oh, you can see these challenges. It ain't easy, folks. Ooh, it gets worse. Oh, the only thing worse would be if there were vlog bombers. I really should start a haunt based just on a completely different theme, which is a completely different theme of haunt, which is you're a YouTuber and out of the shadows and corners, various children try to bomb your vlogs. Honestly, scarier than anything I've seen in many haunts. All right, I'll be quiet. Okay, somehow we ended up way further than the tower when we were right next to it as we try to discover a dry route. Ooh, ooh. Ooh. See, I apologize for any profanities that I failed to capture in the edit. Mostly the French ones. Okay, caged in now. We got some problems. Oh, Hello. Da, 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 da. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. That is plagiarism. Oh, we reached it, and the only problem is you don't get to go up it. I thought that was the whole point. Okay, well, I don't feel so bad cheating now to get out of here. Let's see what our options are. Oh, I chose the right maze, didn't I? Oh my. It's not really fair that only this path is got water in it. The ones next to it don't. It's probably well traveled. Okay, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'll say one thing about this and what was going to keep me from coming in here, bird. The mosquitoes are actually not that bad. So if you're worried about that, well, at least now, this time of year, I'm sure that will change. There's a lot of standing water, so I'm sure that will change in a matter of days. Ooh. Fortunately, yes, you follow the beaten path and you get out. And that's it. We survived the mile maze. All right, one last haunt left to discover. And we're pretty much done with our Saunders experience, other than I'm going to obviously do the main reason you come here at this time of year. Let's check out that cider. Ooh, I'm kind of annoyed that I have to leave soon because I definitely would probably like to take advantage of the night here at Saunders Farm as it's starting to get darker. We return to the Barn of Terror. Okay, I'll admit that was the one. That was fantastic. You can tell that is the scare maze that's been here the longest out of any of them because the amount of props and theming that go into that Barn of Terror, phenomenal. You have, what you start with is like an old-timey library with the books actually falling over each other in some weird forms. Then you go through all these other sort of narrow chambers, lots of discarded laundry, then skulls start to appear. And then you get into darker corners as you go into the basement, and then it's all sorts of horrors and just like really tight corners and dark spaces in there. And it's still pretty bright out here, but it was completely dark in there. And they got me a couple times, especially the scare actor at the very end popped one on me, and because they came out of the wall. Because the first half, there's no actors. You're like, okay, this isn't as scary as I thought it would be. And you don't really hear anything, but then you hear, like, once you get to the basement, things start up. Amazing laser effect on these walkways as well before the ending. I'm just trying to remember everything because it was that effective. As the generators start and the night lighting begins, I'm obviously going to have to leave because I got to go back home tonight, unfortunately. I definitely feel like I should come back to this event before the year is done during the peak haunt season. Let's go outside, wrap things up, so that way we don't have that scary generator in the background. All right, unfortunately, that is a wrap here from Saunders Farm. Like I said, I think I need to come back here when it's darker later in the season to get the full complement of what this is all about. It was excellent, though. I'm actually very glad that I did the mazes in the order that I did, because I think I did them in their strengths for sure. The barn was definitely my favorite without question. And yeah, it was the most atmospheric and really the full package. That being said, the first slaughter maze was also very good. In the proper season, there are 6 attractions and haunts here. So I think it's really a no-brainer to come back here to do it again, to get the hayride in. I definitely wanted to start the season right by doing a haunt that's fairly well known, and there's a reason why this one is. With 3 more mazes, this definitely would be one of the best, if not the best, haunt attractions in Ontario. So it's definitely worth coming to check out. Yeah, so stay tuned for that vlog because I'm pretty sure it'll be coming very soon. Other than that, hello to all the staff as well that were super friendly. I will admit, after a pretty difficult couple of trips with lots of difficulties with various independent attractions and even corporate ones, that yeah, it's been hard to get some of these vlogs in, but they've been very accommodating and friendly. And yeah, I can't say anything more than that. It's you know, for a haunt event, it's weird that they're friendly, but you know, it's appreciated nonetheless. So yeah, definitely get yourself down here if you have the chance. It's totally worth it. Lots of kids going through the mazes here. They don't really pump the scare levels up to the point of being ridiculous, so that way younger kids can go through. They're very understanding. Yeah, it's an excellently run event. And I got one more thing I got to do before we wrap. I'm going to finish this off with a little bit of a ghetto bag situation, but I got the Sawtooth, which is their dry cider. I love dry ciders. I just tried them all. I tried all four. A reasonable amount, okay, because I am going on the road. So super dry, excellent clean finishing. I used to work in a cider place, so I know a few things about it, but that's definitely my jam as I go down into my bag like a crazy bum. And then you have the Flying Canoe, which is their original cider, a little sweeter finishing but still relatively dry. I'm gonna enjoy these tonight after the ride home. All right, that's it officially. Thanks for dropping in.